Welcome to the Northeast Kingdom Voice. I'm your host, Scott Wheeler. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Olivia Brosseau. She's being recognized nationally for her work at helping people with disabilities. And we also have Olivia's mother, Michelle Brosseau. Did I say your name right? Did I come close?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Right. So, well, welcome to the show, Olivia.
Thank you.
And Michelle.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you for having us.
So, you've become quite an internet sensation. I've watched you on the internet, and you're truly a champion of people with disabilities.
Thank you.
And you can write pretty good too.
Yeah.
So what is this new latest award you're getting?
This latest award is through RISE, which means Raising Individual Spirits.
Right.
And I am getting honored this November. There's about like 5 or 10 people,
Right.
and there's so many stories, so many inspirational stories, and a lot of people, and she thought everyone should get an award.
Right.
So.
Because this isn't just a Vermont award. This is national. What do you think about it, Mom?
I'm pretty proud, for one. It's quite an honor.
Right. How did you get this award?
Well, I kind of nominated myself a little bit, and I had other people nominate me as well.
Right.
And then I was on a list of nominees,
Right.
and then the voting process was on Facebook,
Right.
on their page,
Right.
and like how many likes,
Right.
how many shares, how many comments. And I did really make the honor read list, but there's so many inspirational stories and so many people. And
Right. You know, one thing I've noticed in your writing is I can't help but, I didn't know your mother until today, but I've known your aunt, who was the famous Devaney on WMOO, and you seem to have your aunt's spirit. You're not shy, are you?
no, I'm really not. My sister though does, but she's pretty shy.
Right. And you've been on my radio show.
Yeah, yes, I
How do
have.
you think that went?
I think it went really well.
Right. So you were born with Down syndrome.
Yes, it was.
And you are also fighting against what you call the R word.
Yes.
And why is it important for people to understand that isn't a word that you use?
Because it is very hurtful and very derogatory, no matter if you put it in context or not. And like, I'm not censoring anyone's language. It's not really freedom of speech anymore.
Right.
It's about a person. It's kind of like when you say gay and stuff
Right.
like that. It's regarding a person. So I don't think, and it's hate speech.
Right.
And a lot of people think, oh, I don't care, I'm going to say it anyway. But I think when it's about a person, you shouldn't.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Where did she get, you know, oftentimes children, and I know you're a grown woman now, but growing up, she had to have, did she learn some of this from her parents?
Well, I'd like to take credit for it, but I don't know if that's...
Because you sure developed it. You sure raised a very outspoken young woman who is not afraid to voice her opinion.
I think the internet has had a lot to do with it, you know, because you can reach so many people, and she's pretty active on her sites.
Yeah.
No, I've told her. I've been really impressed with her writing. We even talked on the radio show about where she developed her love of writing. You had a teacher that really helped you a lot, right?
Yeah, many.
Yeah. So you're probably not going to be going to the honors in is it Decatur, Georgia, where
Yeah.
the rise and that's in November.
Yeah, November 7th.
But at this point you probably won't be going.
That's what my mom thinks. Because it is pretty far away, and
Right.
I don't have the funds.
You don't have the money.
Yeah.
Have you flown before?
No.
No.
Well,
not recently, but.
right. Okay. Well, let's view a clip here
Okay.
about the Rise Award, and
Okay.
you are the last person featured in it.
Yeah.
Over 30 years ago, people with Down syndrome were institutionalized and stripped of their human rights. But now, because of the many bold voices that rose on their behalf, today many of them are able to raise their own voices. YPR Productions presents the 2014 Rise Awards, a red carpet event honoring and celebrating the accomplishments of individuals with Down syndrome who are making a difference. You don't want to miss this powerful event. Whether you have a loved one with Down syndrome or not, you will leave this event inspired, enlightened, and with a new profound hope. The 2014 Rise Awards is hosted by Justin Miles, honoring Bernadette Resha, Sean Sileni, Sujit Desi, Daron Hart, Gloria Werther Jr., Grace Carter, Hail King Ruby, Megan Stacy, and Olivia Brosseau, with live performances by Viva Brazil, Sujit Desi, Leaf, and the God Sent Project. Join us on November.
Did you ever have a problem with people taking you seriously that you had these big dreams, or were you always supported?
I think I was always supported by my parents and my friends, but other than that, I didn't have many supporters.
Right. And you have from looking at your Facebook, you have quite a group of close-knit friends, and you also have a young man in your life, Tristan.
Tristan, yeah, Jeffrey.
Yeah, as I told you before, I grew up with Tristan's mother, and I think her house was about a stone's throw away from my house.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of guy is he?
He's really sweet. He really loves me, and he's a gentleman towards me. So.
Does he is he as outspoken as you, or are you the talkative one?
I think we both have that connection of talkative.
Right.
Like I love him with all my heart and soul, and I know he's the one.
So, have you done any public speaking besides on my radio show and this show, like to advocate for people with disabilities?
Not really for advocating, as much as I want to. I really want, my huge dream is to be on Ellen.
Ellen.
Yeah, DeGeneres show.
Have you worked towards that? What have you done to make that become reality?
Well, they're always are looking for people that deserve a lot and that has been gone through so many hardships in life, and I want to go over that.
Well, so I don't quite rank up to Ellen, but hopefully you can someday achieve that dream. But I think you ought to be hired or volunteer your time or whatever to be a guest speaker at various groups, because just so people do understand, because I think you certainly have a talent that not everybody has of being able to truly explain what it is like to have a disability and how it affects you when people use language that is not appropriate.
Yeah. I have been teaming up with Lori Christopher and her daughter Alyssa.
I know Lori too.
Yep. For bullying prevention, because I have been bullied in the past,
Right.
and so has Alyssa. So I've been trying to get on board with that.
Now, why do you think people bully each other, whether they're bullying you or bullying anybody? What do you think's going on?
I think they have their own problems in life, and they're just very scared and not very intimidated, but like scared and jealous of that person, because we have much more, not potential. Everybody has potential. It's just they might be jealous of something that you have, and it's probably how they were raised.
Right. I think sometimes is by bullying some people, actually it makes them feel strong because
Yeah.
they actually feel weak inside.
Yeah, that's what I think is the problem.
And Lori, doesn't Lori head up a program about bullying?
I think so, yeah.
That's what I thought. So, Mom, Michelle, if years ago, would you have guessed that your daughter was going to be, she's turning into quite the celebrity, and would you have guessed this is where she was going to go, at least at first, when you got the news that she had Down syndrome?
No, I was pretty devastated. I
Right.
was 26, and I thought that it happened to, women in their 40s. But right from the get-go, she was a fighter. At, I think 6 months old, she went to Boston Children's Hospital and had open heart surgery. And we were back 3 days later. And, she learned how to walk and read and just, hit all the milestones. But it's just the last few years that she's gotten really outspoken and trying to reach people and let them know.
I think that's a very good thing, though, because coming from other people, it might not mean as much, but I think coming from Olivia, I think it has a lot of value. But it seems to me like you and her father must have really believed in her potential, because as I said, I've been wowed by some of your writing and some of your comments, and then she's even called here to the station looking for, talking to Todd about coming on the show, and you're able to self-advocate. You don't allow just you fight your own battles.
Yeah, I do.
Now, how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 other siblings. I have my brother Seth. He's 25 or 26, in that kind of age area. And then I have 2 older brothers, and Jacob, he's 21. And then I have a younger sister. She's 15.
So I've seen your photos with your sister. You look like you're pretty close to her.
Well, it might seem that way. But we
It's
usually,
a typical sister relationship.
yeah, it's typical. We usually fight and bicker, and
Not all the time.
not all the time, but
And I also see you're quite the rock star. You like to sing.
yeah, I do.
I've seen those posts, and
Yeah.
well, don't worry. I know what you. I know the thing about the sister thing. I have 2 brothers, and it took us a few years until we got older before we liked each other. so don't worry. There is hope. We're all very close now, but the years you're in is kind of a rocky period,
Yeah.
especially the years she's in, and you'll probably grow up to be the best of friends.
I hope so. So,
What about your brothers?
I'm more closer to them. Well, because
Probably because they don't live with you.
yeah, because they don't live with me anymore,
Right.
and because I've always hung out with them when I was younger,
Right.
and like been around in the backpacks for the homework, like playing video games or wrestling or something.
So tell me, Michelle, did you ever did you feel that the schools challenged her, or did you have to stay on them to challenge her?
I think they did a really good job. I think we should be proud of at least, the Lake Region area of, what we have for special educators and teachers. And I think at first they might not have challenged her, but then when they saw, what she was capable of, they really supported her, and I didn't have to push very hard. So.
What are your favorite subjects?
English.
English, yep. That makes sense by looking at your writing.
Yep. Writing, reading. I've been good in that department.
What about math?
That is my least.
That's me. I can get up to multiplication and simple division. After that, I've had algebra, and my teacher told all the students that we'd use it every day of our life. I still haven't needed algebra yet, and so I'm on your page there because no, math and me just doesn't cut it.
It wasn't until was it your senior year?
I think
Mr. Tom
so.
Evans is a math teacher
right.
at Lake Region, and she was able to stay in his class, and he really helped her a lot, and she did well. So, and that was the first time she had been in a general ed class for math.
So what other subjects? Were you ever, I know you like to sing, were you ever in a band or chorus or anything?
I was in chorus.
Drama club, that
Drama
was
club.
a big,
Oh, really?
big deal. Yep.
Yeah, all 4 years of high school, drama club in chorus.
Right. No, I know, Michelle, you're in one of these situations. When I first met you, my first comment was, "Oh, you're Devaney's sister." You're because Devaney was kind of larger in life when she was here. But were you like Devaney?
No.
In the sense of very outgoing, very
No.
because I could see her on the stage as well.
Yep.
But you wouldn't have done something
No,
like that.
Definitely not. No.
Yeah, she's a shy sister
She's a shy sister, huh?
of that bunch. So,
So, what other plans do you have? Well, besides, possibly going to Georgia if
Yeah.
things work out. But is there another award coming up?
the
The Washington D.C.
Yes, the Washington D.C. one.
Now, what's that?
That's the National Down Syndrome Society Buddy Walk Conference in Washington, D.C.
All right.
And they have like a awards banquet the first night.
Right.
And they have Champion of Change
Right.
award, and I want to give that as well.
Because you serve on what's the committee called?
NDSS. That's the acronym, but the longer version is National Down Syndrome Society.
National Down Syndrome Society. I just came back from Washington, D.C. Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, once.
grade
Eighth
trip.
grade.
It's such a great, if you took out the politicians, we'd be all set. And because those monuments are great. We were at the World War II. Did you visit any of the? Did you visit the World War II memorial, the big one with the huge fountain in the middle? And
I think so.
We went to the cemetery,
Yeah, the
Arlington.
Arlington,
Right.
and then we went to museums, and it was quite a trip.
Yeah.
Get to see the White House and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White
Just
House,
the
Capitol.
just the front.
Right. Just a beautiful
It is.
city. Did you?
Yeah.
How did you get around? Bus?
Subway.
Subway.
Oh, you did do the
Walking,
subway.
yeah.
Subway down there is so easy. Even I can find my way around on the subway because I can get lost relatively easy. If it wasn't for my GPS, I'd be lost. Now GPS and a map.
Yeah.
So So this event is to just talk about the agenda.
It's like half and half.
Right.
It's next year, which is not that far away.
Right.
It's only 6 more months.
Right.
January or February, because they want to push it up
Right.
so more people can go. And that's what I really want to go. And next year, my 2 friends are going with the kids. And they know me from Facebook, and they are very legit.
Right. You know, the thing about Facebook is, there's so much bad about it, but there's so much good about it. Like me and my business, I'm able to reach the world, and you're able to also reach the world with your message. Have you ever had anybody that you thought was maybe not the right people to be communicating with?
Some people, because you never know what's out there.
Right.
And I did have some bad people putting the R word into a status, and it's like, yeah, delete,
Right. Yeah. Delete.
report.
So we grew up at a time, Michelle, where you didn't think about using that word. Now, would you even contemplate it now?
No, not the way it, affects Olivia, and it just makes you more conscious. And I think some people don't even realize that they're saying it, or that it,
Yeah, I think that's it. I think a lot of people do things, including ourselves. I'm sure we do things that we just don't think about. And I think that's how come your education is so important on so many different levels. Now, how are you going to get to Washington? Is that a bus trip, car trip, or airplane?
That is my airplane.
It is?
Yeah, from Boston.
Well, air flight is wonderful. Have you flown, Michelle?
a few times.
And I don't know what Mom thinks about it, but if there's an airplane taking off, I want to be on it. I don't even care where it's going. I love walking the steps to the airport or walking on, and I can't get enough of it. I think you'll really enjoy it. You'll have your nose glued right to the window because it's just a wonderful feeling taking off. Now, I'm sure there's some people listening to this show who might disagree with me, but
Well, you're gonna have your disagreeals and your agreeals
right.
in life.
So I think your next step is you got to contact Ellen, but I think
Yeah.
you've already tried contacting her probably,
Yeah.
and to get on there. But I also have been communicating with one of your Barton Glover natives, Darren Perrin,
Yeah.
and I do believe your time is nearing. From the response, because I sent you his response,
Yeah.
and it looked very, very likely you will be. It isn't if, I believe it isn't if you're going to be on WCAX, it's when you're going to be on WCAX. And then I contacted the Chronicle for you. I worked at the Chronicle for years, and I believe you'll be in the pages of the Chronicle before long. I guess I've become your PR agent.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I believe in you.
Yeah.
And I just think you're doing great things. You have a great message, and I just wanted to do whatever I could to help you get the word out.
Thank you so much for that support. And matter of fact, Bethany Dunbar's coming Monday.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, because that's who she used to be my editor, so I sent her the information about you, and I sent her about this Rise Award. So by the time this show airs, you're going to have been interviewed by the famous Bethany Dunbar, who has been at the Chronicle since it virtually opened, and I think she'll be there until it closes, hopefully later than sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, she's coming Monday morning, very early, 8 a.m.
Is that early for you?
Kind of.
Yeah, because I've noticed when you respond to email, when you respond to my messages, it's usually around 9:30, 10 o'clock that you might work your way onto the computer.
She is a night owl, let's
Yeah,
just say.
hugely night owl.
I'm early to bed, early to rise.
Yeah.
When it's dark underneath the table, it's time for
For bed.
Yeah, that's her
Oh, is it?
motto.
Was she always like that? Because with in my family, I had two brothers. I think one was fairly normal about sleeping. The other one could stay up to 2 o'clock in the morning and sleep to noon the next day.
That's
whereas,
her.
Yeah, whereas I would be in bed at 7 o'clock and ready to go at 4,
Yeah.
and I'm still like that today.
Yeah.
And I think your patterns are set at a young age. So was that her at a young age too?
Well, like junior high throughout high school, but she had a normal routine during the week, but on the weekend or vacation, she'd like to change it up a little bit.
Okay, we only have about 3 more minutes left. What would you like to tell the people
About Ellen.
about Ellen?
Yeah. Well, because that's like my mission, to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
You know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to try to find out how I can submit this show for Ellen to watch, or at least a segment of it. So, because if I sent a half-hour show, maybe I'll send a sound bite. So talk to Ellen right now.
Okay.
Tell Ellen why you should be on her show.
Ellen DeGeneres, I am a huge, huge, huge fan of yours. For standing up for causes like for gay rights and bullying and animals, and I just support you in all of those causes. And I watch your show religiously, because I love it. She makes me laugh, she makes me smile, and she makes me cry. So it's like all the emotions.
And Ellen, I will tell you, you couldn't pick a better person to have come on your show. Now, what do you have to say to Ellen?
Oh, invite her during a school vacation.
So I will really try to work to find out
Okay.
where to at least send that clip to. I'll send the long version and I'll send the short version.
Okay.
And we will see what happens, and maybe Ellen will come on my show.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Okay, well, Mom, your final words.
Thank you for having her and supporting her locally. I think that's a great place to start.
Yep. And I just want to say you just still continue to amaze me. Your work you're doing. I think there's a lot of people who could learn a lot from you.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
And thank you to the viewers for tuning in to another segment of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.